Hi guys, it's Susan from Second Act. How are you? I hope everyone had a good week. I was really excited to get back on my regular schedule this past week. Still some residual, holiday stuff and stuff to catch up on. But overall, I felt like, my week was definitely getting back into its normal pattern. And I know from this point forward, it will be great. So, I hope it all went well for you guys as well. So let's get into stats. Okay. My surgery, VSG surgery, was on September 27th, 2016, with Dr. Mark Zare in San Jose, California at Good Samaritan Hospital. My height weight was 240, my surgery weight was 225, and my current weight is 198. And I don't ever think I've given you guys a reference as to my height. I'm not sure if I have. I'm 5'6". So that's just a reference for you because I know that other people refer to that, and it's kind of nice to know, what you're talking about. So yeah, I'm 5'6". So, sorry if I keep looking down. I'm looking at my notes. But so unfortunately this week there was no weight loss. I was kind of hoping there would be because if you've watched my past videos, you know that 2 weeks ago I had lost 5 pounds. I went from 201 to 196, which seemed extreme to me. Then I gained 2 pounds back over that New Year's week, and I was at 198 last week. So this week I actually did lose a pound because, hi, I'm Susan. I'm a habitual daily weigher. I can't break from that habit. But so, I did see the scale going down, and I was at 197 as of yesterday. So I actually thought I was going to be at 196 today, but no, instead the scale jumped up to 198 again. So so frustrating. But I decided this morning that I wasn't going to let it discourage me because I knew I had stayed on track. The only thing I can think of, which I actually thought would have made me lose weight, is that I was sick this past week. I had a cold. So I don't know, how that did or did not affect my weight. But I will say this. Here's a tip for you guys. If you guys are not daily, food loggers, it's really worth doing it. I had gotten out of the habit a little bit in December, gotten a little out of my routine, and decided, at the beginning of this year that I was going to start tracking my food again because I'm always surprised sometimes. There's just like one little thing you can eat that can all of a sudden just bump your numbers through the roof that you don't expect. Well, that happened to me this past week. The day I was sick, I was eating really well because I was not feeling well. I was just having soups. I had made a really nice chicken soup, chicken and vegetable soup. And I thought, oh, this is going to be great for my weight loss. But what I didn't realize was that, because I was really congested and stuffed up, I was taking cough drops throughout the day. And so I logged my food in that day and it was looking really good. And then it dawned on me, you had all those cough drops, and I probably throughout the day had 9 or 10 of them. And I put that in my food log, and I'm not kidding, I was shocked to see how, of course, the sugar and carbs just blew through the roof. So, that's something to keep in mind. You might want to get the sugar-free cough drops if you're getting sick. But, do make sure you log all those little items in because it would have been easy for me to not log that in and not even realize that, my stats had gone through the roof that day. So that was a little bit of an eye opener, and that's why, it just confirmed for me that, you have to keep logging your food because, there are just things that you don't even realize you're putting into your mouth sometimes that can just bring you through the roof. And there were other days this week too where I had been logging my food, and when it came towards the end of the day, I saw that I was kind of, at the max of the stats that I want to be at, and yet I was still a little hungry, but I told myself, no, no, don't eat because you're at your daily ratio here. So, it's just a reminder to keep you on track. So, just wanted to throw that out there for you guys if you're not trackers or if you've lost track of tracking, it really is a great tool to use. So that was that. Um, so now the weight loss, absolutely, I was disappointed. I was really hoping that, I would get back down to the point that I was at 2 weeks ago, which was the 196. I really want to kind of get past that 195 point and start heading towards 190. But then I decided, you know what? I feel lighter. I'm not going to let that discourage me. And I decided to get back to the the NSVs that I was tracking before. And I think if you have watched some of my previous videos, you know that my weight loss has been slow the entire time. The weight has not been melting off of me the way it has some other people. So I had to create some other ways to judge and keep track of the weight I was losing. And one of those ways was pulling out a piece of clothing that I, could not fit into and then keep trying it on until I fit into it. So as of, probably maybe 2, 3 weeks ago was the last time I tried on my most recent top that I have. And I knew that the last time I tried it on, it was just about ready to fit me, to the point where I would wear it out the door. And so, because I didn't lose any weight, I thought, okay, you know what? I'm feeling lighter. I'm getting a lot of comments. Let me try on my top to see if I'm fitting into it. So sure enough, I try on the top and it is definitely fitting me now. I mean, it's still a little tighter than I would like it to be, but it is at the point where I would probably wear it out the door now. And that's kind of how I judge it. Like, would I wear this out in public now? And so that piece of clothing is at the point where I would probably wear it out in public now. So that was very encouraging that I can do that. So now I can pull out another clothing item that I'm not fitting into and start using that as judgment. The other thing too was, I don't measure myself very often, but I did measure myself in November. And I thought, it's time to take my measurements again because I hadn't done it in a while. So I took my measurements, and that was exciting too because that's proven to me that in the last 2 months, I've lost 14 inches overall. I only track my chest, waist, and hips. I don't do the whole neck, and I should do the arms, but I did not do my arms this time. So anyway, so basically I had lost like 2 inches off my chest. I'd lost 4 inches off of my waist, 4 inches off of my hips. So that was huge. And that was really a sign that, the weight is coming off. And, whenever I get that affirmation from these NSVs, it kind of lets me release the disappointment from the scale number, because we all know the scale number, as much as it reflects our weight loss, isn't accurate. I mean, I know for myself, and I know from watching a lot of your videos out there, you guys have said the same thing. Your weight can fluctuate. Mine can anyway. Like, I can fluctuate 4 or 5 pounds in a week. I mean, that's, it's a little more steady now that I've been on this program, but, there were times prior to this, doing this that my weight could have fluctuated 5 pounds in a day. And it still can fluctuate by several pounds. So anyway, so just to say that that's a very variable number to go by. Whereas, your measurements and, actually trying your clothes on, that is a more viable, substantial way to do it, where it's more true telling, I think. So anyway, so I feel much better about that, even though I would love to see that number come down. I will hope that it will next week, but it did make me feel better to have, those NSVs, because those were pretty good NSVs. So just, a little point to you guys that if you're not tracking your food, that's a great thing to do. If you guys aren't using other types of things for NSVs, then, do that for yourself, because especially for those of you who might be on the same journey I am, where the weight just isn't plummeting off of you, It's definitely a great way to judge your weight loss, and it's funny how much better it makes you feel because, I could see that it would get discouraging if I were only going by the scale number. I think that, I could get to a point where I would be very upset or disappointed. But because I've been tracking these other viable NSVs, it makes me realize that I can't just go by the scale number, that, going by my measurements, going by clothing items that are absolutely fitting me looser. Those are the type of things that are validating. So do that for yourself if you're not already doing that. But other than that, I did really pretty well, I thought, this week. Like I said, I had made a healthy soup, got back on track as far as regular eating habits. So, that was pretty good. The only thing that I'm still doing that I'm not great about is those Quest bars. I don't know why. I really, when I am hungry, there are times where I just want that immediate satisfaction. And because those Quest bars have that 20 grams of protein, although I will say I've tried to wean myself off of having a full one, and I'm talking for meal replacement. I'm not just talking a snack. This is for meal replacement. I've tried to cut that down to a half a bar. So it's only 10 grams of protein. But, sometimes I'm just so hungry that I want to get that, something in my stomach immediately. So that is something that those Quest bars, I just don't think are helping me in any way, shape, or form. So I really need to break myself of that habit. And it made me realize that the other thing that I need to get going on is food prep, because if I did do food prep and I had little Tupperwares that had, quick grab meals, like maybe a little turkey, a little cheese, a little fruit or veggies, and I could just grab one of the Tupperware containers and have that immediately, that would definitely alleviate my need for the Quest bars. So that's my challenge this week, is to do more food prep, and have those ready to go meal packs available for myself. I think that will be huge for me in eating better. I did do better on my water this week. I'm not sure I still got all 64 ounces in. I might have on most of the days if I count, hot teas and things like that I drank. But, I could still always do better on the water. So I hope to do that. So anyway, I think that's really the gist of my week. Just happy to be back on a regular schedule. And so I think that's all I've got for you this week. I've been trying to catch up on videos, and you guys are amazing. People like VSG Brit Brat. First of all, let me just say, you are so supportive and positive for this community. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure I'm saying that for everybody. And people like you, and finding Elizabeth, and VSG Jody. I know that you guys have kind of, during the holidays had your challenges. But let me say this, first of all, I love the fact that you guys still post, even when it's sort of a negative week for you, because that's just encouraging, letting the rest of us know that it's not always a perfect week, and that as much as you don't want to post it or put it out there, it's part of the journey. And, I think once you put it out there, it's great, because I think it helps you to move forward. And so thank you for that, you guys. I really appreciate it. And can I also say, for those of you who are way out in your journey, like past your year, 2 year, or finding Elizabeth even in your 3 year point, I love that you guys keep posting, because I know a lot of people sort of just die off, and I get it. You're done with the VSG journey. You might not have time to keep doing the videos. But it's really encouraging, I find, to be able to follow people in their journey, years afterwards, because I always want to know, has the weight stayed off? Have these people stopped making their videos because they've gained all their weight back? Or, and that may not be the case at all, but it's just nice to know that. So there's a few people who do like 6 months check-in, even an annual check-in. I would even love to just see that, just for someone to say, hey, here I am. It's been a year since I posted my last video, but you know what? I'm out here and the weight has stayed off. So anyway, thank you guys, to all of you who have, been on this journey longer than I have. And, for those of you who are starting your journey, or, in the very beginning parts of everything, maybe even op, just, it's a great thing to keep documenting your journey, because it's great to look back on. I think it really helps you with your, what's the word I'm like, habits that you'll form, kind of sees when you're up, when you're down, what happened that week that might have caused either the up or down. And I think it can help you refine your journey as well. So, love this community, love the support you all put out there. I don't want to say apologize to some of you out there, but I have been a little more commenty lately. And some of my comments have not just been like, woohoo, you're doing great, good job. Sometimes I have, because I truly mean it, but then with other people, I kind of have been giving comments based on my experience in my past weight loss, where, like, for instance, let's just say in the past, I have, you know, been on a weight loss program where, for instance, one, I lost 70 pounds. And as I started to gain the weight, 5 pounds here, then it became 7 pounds, and then it became 10 pounds. And I kept telling myself, I've got to catch this. I've got to stop this. But the whole thing was like, I was focused on, gotta lose weight, gotta lose weight. And I think that psychs you out, and if I had only just told myself, just maintain your weight. Don't even worry about the fact that you need 40, 50 pounds to lose. Don't think about that. Manage the maintenance. If I had broken it down in smaller baby steps, I think maybe I wouldn't be here today, maybe wouldn't have had to do this. I don't know. Maybe I would have, who knows what causes all this. But so if I was a little wordy on one of your comments and, giving you maybe more than you thought you needed or wanted, let me just say that it just came from my heart, because it's from my past experience, my past frustrations. And I'm just saying to you, gosh, this happened to me. Don't let it happen to you. You're doing great. So stay on track and don't let yourself psych yourself out, and I think don't bite off more than you can chew. Try to take one challenge at a time, instead of trying to take on doing everything at one time and doing something so extreme that you're setting yourself up for failure. And so I think, if we can all do little baby steps, then yeah, I think it's much more manageable. And believe me, if you guys have comments for me, tips for me, please, please, please feel free to pass them on to me. I am an open book. I am a sponge ready to soak it all in, because I am determined that this is the last weight loss program that I am going to be on, if you will. This is a new lifestyle change for me. And if I start to slip or stall like I am this week, then, I want to hear what you have to say, because, that's what it's all about. That's what this community is about. This community, I don't think, it is about, being cheerleaders and saying, yay, good for you, great week. And that's absolutely encouraging. But, if there needs to be some tough love, let's give it to each other. I think we should give it to each other, because, sometimes we each need that, and tough love in a nice, gentle way, in the sense that if you have constructive help you can give, constructive advice, that's even better. So, anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. You guys have a great week. Thank you so much for being out there for all of us. And everybody, keep up the great work. And 2017 is going to be a great year for all of us. All right? Take care. See you next week.